Okay, so as you all know, we have been working on per hour plus an initial fee. So what we are going to do is look at per hour plus an initial fee in a scene. And here is how it goes. Here I am going to the car lot. Okay, I'm going to the car lot, and I am going to purchase this beautiful tiger print car that is sitting right here. Everybody see it? All right. Here I am at the car lot. Look at that beautiful tiger print car. Now, that tiger print car is on sale for $500. It is, isn't it? $500. Now, I only have $150 in my pocket. So I am going to use that $150 as a down payment. Jot that number down because it is important right now. I gave you another number as well on the back of your foldable. I gave you two numbers already in my story. What was the first number I gave you? 500. So you should have that number written down. That was another number that I gave you. What was the number? $150. Now, I do have a little job, and to get that little beautiful car that's sitting over there on that car lot, I've agreed to pay $75 per week towards that car. Now, if we all agree to those terms, the total amount of this beautiful car over here on this car lot is $500. I'm gonna put $150 down, and I'm gonna pay $75 per week. What equation can we create so we can determine how many weeks it will take us to buy that beautiful car? I'm going to help you. Now, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are going to hold up a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to decide which one of these equations fit the situation for the story I just told you. The car cost $500. I am going to pay $150 down and $75 per week. Which equation can be used to determine how many weeks I will pay? Equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, or equation 4? That is correct. Next question. Let's say we go to the car dealership and we know that the car costs $500. And we say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. or Miss or Madam or Sir or they, salesperson, we have our $150. We're ready to pay you. How much more will we owe them if we pay them the $500 how much more will we owe them if we know that the car is 100? I just messed that all up. Oh my goodness. Let me try that again. How much more will we owe them if our little car is $500 and we give them the $150 that we showed up with? Mental math. You ready? What is it? You had it's $500 that you need to pay, but you only give them $150. How much more will you owe them? I'm listening. 350. This is the math from the equation that shows what just happened. Write that on your foldable. So now we have $350 remaining, and we said that we are going to give them $75 per week. Now, I wonder, how many $75 does it take to pay them $350? It takes two 75s to make $1.50. So that's 300. About how many payments will you have to make? Estimate. How many weeks approximately? About 5? Somewhere between 4 and 5 weeks. So it'll take you about a little over a month to pay for this little cart. Okay, so W equals about 4 to 5 weeks. What questions do you have for me about being able to determine which equation will fit a two-step word problem? We are going to delve into inequalities. And so on the outside of the flap, we will write the inequality in some words, and then on the inside, we will put the number line for the inequalities. So inequalities are uh, similar to expressions and equations because they tell you what a value could or could not be equivalent to. And you are going to see these throughout your um, math career. You'll see them on a number line, and then you'll also see them in a different way on the coordinate plane using solid and dotted lines. Now, an inequality can have an open circle or it can have a closed circle, and they are used to compare quantities. So it tells you whether a number is larger than or smaller than or equivalent to another number because the number is not equal to or a number is not equal to another number, then that's when you have to express it another way. So today is going to be about learning how to read math using symbols. I'm sure you've seen these symbols, but I'm not sure you've seen them with variables. And so I'm going to write them two different ways, and I want you to focus on learning how to read again. Okay? We're learning how to read again. You all know that this is called what type of sign? A less than sign, right? Okay, so we're going to write the word less than on the front. Now, on the next card, we'll put this sign. Okay, less than or equal to. The third one will be greater than. And then the last one will be greater than or equal to. Well, let me get my handy dandy whiteout and fix that sign. Because it is supposed to be written the other way. Okay. Greater than or equal to. Now, there are other words that can be used for these signs. What is another way to say less than? If you have less than someone else. You have fewer than. Now, because I'm trying to get you to also think algebraically, there are other ways to write less than, okay, or fewer than. This reads x is less than, but this also reads x is less than. You see how it's close to the x? And so I'm going to put A because A is going to be representing any number. So x is less than any number, or any number is greater than x. And we need to talk about what that looks like on a number line. I'm going to put some negative numbers on this number line because eventually you're going to be studying negative numbers. Will you have negative numbers?
No, we already had.
Okay, good. Okay, so if x is less than 2, can the number be 2? It cannot. So you're going to use an open circle at 2 because 2 cannot be included.
Should we write down the number line?
We should write down the number line, and you should make sure that this is an open circle.
Yeah.
And anything less than 2 will satisfy this inequality. All right? Less than or equal to means that you have more than a certain quantity. And so x can be less than or equal to a, or a can be greater than or equal to x. Just pay attention to where the arrow is close to the variable. Or rewrite the statement with the variable first and pay attention to the orientation of the arrow. But if you know how to read it, then you're well off. So if it is less than or equal to, what do you think it will be? Do you think it will be an open circle or a closed circle? Say that again. Do you think it will be an open circle or a closed circle? Closed circle because the number is included. So I'm going to put a closed circle on 0 for this example. And x is going to be less than or equal to that value because the number is included. Greater than. You can say greater than. You can also say is at most, or more than. No, more than is less than or equal to. Well, I'm going to cross out this one because more than only works when you are comparing two numerical values. It doesn't work if you have an algebraic statement or a phrase that we are working towards specifically. So let me cross this out for right now and we'll come back. We need words like at least or minimum. Where would we put at least? Greater than or equal to? Where would we put no more than? Okay, so let's change this one to no more than. That would be a better statement. And then greater than should be more than. Okay, now this statement will be written as X is greater than A or A is less than X. And then when we put it on a number line, open circle or closed circle for this one? Yes, because the number is not included. So put an open circle on the value. Now, the value is not always the same number. Please understand that, sir. The value is not always the same number. It's according to what the problem is. And remember, if the inequality statement is written with the quantity first, you can rewrite it, but make sure you reverse everything in the statement. And we'll talk about that some more later. Okay, greater than or equal to or at least. I need at least 5, which means I need 5 or more. So X has to be greater than 5 or 5 has to be less than or equal to X. So this statement is going to be X is greater than or equal to A or A is less than or equal to X. And our number line will include the value in question I always picture like a little animation that takes that little line under the inequality and it goes like this and it wraps itself around the circle and it fills it in. A little cartoon animation. Yeah, and it says something like that. And then greater than, so you're going to shade everything that is greater than that value in question. All right, let's take a pause for the cause.
Yeah.
What questions do you have for me? All right, we're going to take a stretch break.